WNBA superstar Angel Reese recently went viral, semi-viral anyway, for talking about how she's not making enough money to pay her rent. In today's video, I'm going to play you what she said, and then I'm going to break down multiple reasons why most WNBA players are broke and why you don't have to be.
Hand pays them bills, baby. I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. I'm gonna do the math real quick.
It might cover that. Yeah, it definitely covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary. 74? Okay. Times.
Here, I'll do.
Yeah. I don't even know my salary. Does it? You don't even. Yo! I'm living beyond my means! It's like. No, my rent is more than that. It's 8,000. I'm living beyond my means. Like y'all think. Babe, if y'all thought. It's like. Let me see. I don't even know my salary for WNBA. A thing. Do that even pay my car note?
Yeah, I think it pays your car note.
Yeah, I ain't doing a thing.
Now, I'm pretty sure she'll be alright, but I cannot say the same for the majority of players in the WNBA. And the reason something like this is good to discuss is because, like many people out there, people in the WNBA want to make more money. You may be watching this video today because you have dreams of starting a business or starting a side hustle or making money working from home, where you can make more money and have more time to do the things that you love and to be there for your family, etc. Now, I'm pretty sure that most people in the WNBA would have you believe, and this is the same thing that many people talk about. They believe that they have a marketing problem. More people need to see what they're doing, more people need to see how skilled they are, etc. And then they'll be able to drive the revenue, which can make them more money. Now, they don't have a marketing problem. In fact, they're backed and have been propped up by the NBA for years and years and years. And that hasn't changed dramatically the amount of revenue that the WNBA brings in. So from time to time, there are examples where marketing may be a problem, but there's no way you can convince any sane person with any sort of business acumen that the WNBA has a marketing problem. You have the NBA literally sending players to go and watch the WNBA games to make it seem like it's cool and it's good to watch. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind WNBA players. I don't think that they're trash or anything like this. It's not about what a basketball fanatic may think. This is why you'll hear NBA players go to WNBA games and say, yeah, these players are skilled, more people should watch it. But what is that? That's because you're dealing with fanatical people. Most basketball fanatics will watch the WNBA, will watch college, will watch high school, will watch European leagues, and will watch WNBA. Why? Because they like basketball. But if you want to get far in business, you have to understand it's not just about that immediate audience for the most part. It's about being able to branch out to more of the masses where real money is generated. I'm going to give you an example of that later on in the video about one of the products I sell currently right now and how important it is to be able to attract and engage people who don't know you, who may have never seen you before, never heard of you before. When you're able to convert those sorts of people, that's when you have a huge runway for revenue and for business growth, etc. But one of the main reasons why you may not be making the kind of money you want to make is because you're not selling a product. Now, this doesn't apply to WNBA players. We'll talk about that more in a moment. But if you have any sort of serious dreams of starting your own business, working from home, replacing your full-time income or anything along those lines, you need to sell a product. I'm not going to go into much detail in today's video because this isn't the topic of today's video. And I've done a couple of videos. I'll link one down below the video about how you can actually create a product in the next 24 to 48 hours or less and actually sell it. Second thing when it comes to selling is very significant when we talk about the WNBA. And this is one of the reasons why most of the WNBA players are broke. And this is the same reason why you will never be able to replace your income unless you fix this problem. I've spoken already about selling something, being able to sell a product. Selling doesn't have to be salesy, just for the record. I did a video about that recently, about how to sell without having that slimy feeling or feeling salesy, like a snake oil salesman. But the problem that a lot of people have when it comes to selling is they're selling something which nobody wants to buy. And the slight caveat to that may be, or there's not enough people to buy it. And when you look at the WNBA, for example, or you look at anything that you may be doing, one of the reasons you may have a product which isn't selling is because you are trying to sell a product which nobody wants to buy, or the audience to buy that product is very, very small. And unless you're charging some humongous amount, and I don't mean just charging some humongous amount just for the sake of it, unless the thing that you are selling, the thing that you are offering to that small amount of people is worthy of that huge price, that is the thing that you shouldn't be selling. Now, this applies so heavily to the WNBA because this isn't a slight on the skills of the WNBA players. This isn't a slight on the hard work that they put in for years and years and years and years. One of the simplest but most profound marketing lessons, selling lessons you have to learn in business is to sell products that people want to buy. If you sell a product, if you offer a service or you offer a product that people want to buy, it will be so easy for you to sell. This is why I spoke earlier on about marketing problems. Many people think, you know what, I've got a marketing problem. If only more people would see my offer. No, it's not a marketing problem. If you had a product that people wanted to buy, 95% of the time, it's not marketing. 95% of the time, it's a product which is being offered in the marketplace which nobody wants or not enough people want. And when we think about the WNBA and we look at the financial numbers and we ask ourselves, why year after year after year after year is it continuing to lose money? Why year after year after year after year is the NBA propping up and money being allocated from the NBA and funneled into the WNBA to keep it afloat? Why is that continuing to happen? That's because mass appeal, not basketball fanatics, mass appeal, the mass audiences are not interested in buying WNBA product. It doesn't matter how much you try to sell it to people. If people are not interested in it, they're not going to buy it. This is why the WNBA is such a powerful example, because like I said earlier on in today's video, the NBA has been going out of its way for years to try and publicize the WNBA. But the mass population in America and in other parts of the world are not interested in it. They don't spend money on the WNBA anywhere near they do on the NBA. They don't watch like people watch the NBA. I mentioned this earlier on, and I'll talk about it from this perspective now. If you have a good product, marketing becomes easy. If your product isn't that good, it doesn't mean it will never sell, but marketing becomes so much harder. Instead of spending so much time trying to sell a product which nobody wants, not because the product isn't good, it may be a great product, it may be a great invention, but we don't get paid because of an invention. We get paid because people, lots of people, find use in it. One of the products I have right now is a digital product, and pretty much on average, every single day, at least one person is buying it. So for example, many mornings I'll wake up, and I'm an early bird, and when I wake up, I look at my phone and I see sales alerts. Somebody in some part in the world, most likely who never knew me before, bought my product. There's other days where I'm out and about doing things, and then somebody will buy my product. And in many of those scenarios, people are finding me for the first time and saying, you know what, Israel has something which I'm very interested in. I'm going to take money out of my bank account and I'm going to pay him because the thing he's offering, I want a lot. Now, if we change the scenario, let's look at the WNBA or think about a product you may be selling right now. If we were to go on the street and just start asking random people, hey, look, are you interested in watching a WNBA game? Most people are going to say no. Again, this may seem like I'm throwing shade on WNBA players. I'm not, right? I appreciate their talent. I appreciate the hard work they put in. But when we look at things from a business perspective, we have to suppress the emotion and just look at, in large part anyway, the facts. I'm not confused for a second that the reason somebody who has no familiarity with me or maybe sees me for the first time online and then buys one of my products, I'm not for a second thinking, you know what, it's because I look so good. Like, I believe I look good, but that's not why. The reason behind that is because what I'm offering to them, what I'm presenting to them is so good to them, they want to buy it. I promise you, the moment you start selling a product which people want to buy, are highly interested in it, you'll begin to make lots and lots of money. I've told this story so many times before and I'll tell it again. My first business, which made any sort of serious money, right? Thousands of dollars a month. For months and months and months, I was making no money. You know why that was? I didn't know this at the time, but I was making all of this content, offering all of this stuff, spending time designing these products to look good, and nobody was buying it, or very few people were buying it. Now I can look back and say very easily, you know what, Israel, you are offering stuff to people, which yes would have helped them, but it wasn't packaged in a way, it wasn't presented in a way where the people who are looking at it could see, oh wow, you know what, I actually need this right now. As I got more experienced, as I learned more about sales and marketing, I started selling things in a way which caused people to buy. I would offer things to people who wanted to buy the thing that I'm selling. And that was how I started to get breakthroughs. I started to make hundreds and thousands of dollars a month. There were days where I would make $2,000, $3,000 in a day. Why? Because I was selling a product. I had a product which was packaged in a way which was presentable to the people, and they would look at this product and say, you know what, I want what Israel's selling. I'm going to take money out of my bank account, out of my bank card, and I'm going to give it to Israel. Think about the WNBA as a transaction. How many people are going around saying, you know what, I want to spend money on the WNBA? That's the same question you need to ask yourself right now. If you're working a full-time job right now and you want to get out of that, maybe you're not working right now and you're looking for a way to continue to make some money to provide for your family, ask yourself this question based on the skills that I have internally, because more likely than not, you have skills which are valuable enough to sell a product. With the skills that I have in my hands, what can I offer to someone or to many people which they would like to pay me for? The more you think about that question, the more money you'll make, because it switches from what I like or what I want to do to serving your audience and finding out what they like, what they need, and what they want from you. I said this earlier on that Angel Reese said this all in jest. I'm pretty sure that she'll be all right. And the difference between Angel Reese, I mentioned, look, she's a superstar in the WNBA. And part of that is because she understands the things I'm talking about. I noticed recently, she's even got her own podcast. She's bringing on heavy hitters onto the podcast. That's diversification. When you diversify and you don't just trust in one thing. She's a WNBA player, but she's got brand deals. She's got a podcast. She's got most likely products or sponsorships that she's selling on the podcast. When you understand business, you know you can't just rely on one stream of income. As successful as Apple is, they've got a mobile, but they went into laptops and they went into desktops, and they've got all these different array of items because they understand that it's not just about one. You may land big with one in the beginning, but then you use that as a tipping point, as a jumping off board to now diversify into multiple different avenues. You don't have to necessarily go into a different arena, but you can pivot around the main thing in order to continue to produce results. This is why my business isn't based on just one product. If you like this video, hit the like button and watch this video next. It will definitely help you based on what I've spoken about today. God bless.